Go.
How you doing? My name is JD, and I'm a student at the Ohio State University. And we'll go practice our interviewing skills. I have to let you know this is confidential. Anything you say will just between us, our photographer, and our instructor. Is that okay with you? So tell me a little bit about yourself. What brought you here today?
Well, I've been going through a lot of stuff recently. My grandparents died on the same day, just a couple weeks ago. Um, it was my stepdad's dad, and then it was my dad's mom. So kind of dealing with the grieving process and family issues on both sides of the fence here, which is really stressful trying to be in all these different places at once because I've got school stuff that I still have to get done, and my professors for the most part aren't really flexible with me on this, so I'm trying to keep my schoolwork, keep on track with that, driving to mom's house, driving to dad's house, and then on top of all of this, we found out just a couple of days before my grandparents passed that my dad's cancer is back for the second time. And I've already been through this once with my father, and it was extremely intense. I'm not, we knew that there was a chance that it would come back, but didn't think it was going to be now. So on top of that, I'm trying to be there for my dad, who hasn't had a chance to grieve for his own mom because he had to leave the funeral and drive directly to the hospital. And he's got to have this surgery done. And first he didn't have to lose his eye, and now they're going to save his eye. And it's just been an emotional roller coaster.
Understand. So how are you personally coping with the issues?
I'm not really. I'm just trying to keep it together at this point. I mean, I'm not one to talk much about turmoil that's going on. Like,
You're doing a pretty good job right
so, um, when people, I mean, obviously everyone wants to be supportive and is coming up to me and I'm sorry for your loss, and let me know if there's anything you can do, and I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. That does nothing for me. That's actually the last. I just need someone to be there, be present, and just be there. I don't need a bunch of sorries from people. That actually seems to make it worse for me.
now. Right.
And I just I'm almost too busy to deal with it at this point. It's just always weighing on my mind, what's going to happen with Dad. Now that we're through the first funeral and I can start to put that behind me, but then my grandpa's funeral is going to be coming up. They had to ship his ashes in from out of state, so it's going to be another trip home. And Dad's condition is always just there in the back of my head, but I'm either at work or I'm doing schoolwork, and I mean that's basically, I work 30 hours, 30 to 35 hours a week on top of school full time, and my course load this quarter is unreal. So I don't really have time to cope with it. And then it's like when I do get a free time, it's like, let's just drink and talk about anything but cancer and death.
Drink.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like you do have a lot of stress in there. Have you considered any stress management techniques?
Well, I'm making an effort to at least talk to somebody about, even if it's just like my boyfriend or like whatever. When I start to feel overwhelmed, I just, the other day I went out in the parking lot and screamed at the top of my lungs, just to scream, and that was actually really helpful.
I could imagine. Sounds helpful. So, growing up, who were you raised with?
I lived primarily with my mom, but my dad was also very involved. I was at his house at least one day a week and then every other weekend, 2 weeks in the summer. So, but my dad, he was more of my friend, whereas my mom was more of the parent.
Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have a stepsister and then a half sister, although I don't consider them step and half. They're my sisters. But I'm my dad's only child, which is just another, this falls on me. Like, we don't have any now living relatives close, at least sane living relatives close, and Dad's he needs me a lot, and he feels alone a lot of the time, so I have to, drive there, which is a 2-hour drive, a lot, and I'm going to have to be at the hospital with him for at least 4 of the 5 days that he's there when he has his surgery done, so, yeah, I just don't have the time.
Were you, as a child in your earlier life prior to this, were you placed or have you dealt with a lot of stressful experiences?
Oh, yeah. I grew up really fast. Just a lot.
So maybe, is it quite possible that you've dealt with stress so much that it doesn't bother you as much?
Yeah, I do sometimes kind of feel numb. I mean, it's like, it's almost too painful to feel it, but at the same time, I'm just so used to being like, alright, here it is, whatever, like, what's just the next thing on my plate, like, get it done, get it out of here, you know what I mean? So, I don't really delve into my emotions that much, it's just like, let's just get through it.
So would you consider your numbness, so to speak, a strength or a weakness?
Both. I think at times, I'm a very strong person, and it gets me through. I feel like I could be having a total breakdown right now, and that would be legitimate, like, but I have so much strength now from past experiences that it's not, I'm staying on track. I'm getting my school stuff done. I'm getting to work. I'm being there for my family, and I think I'm doing okay, all things considered. Now, on the other hand, it's obviously not healthy to bottle everything up, which I'm trying to work on. And I've never been that great at communicating my feelings for the most part, and that has affected me. It's had negative effects on relationships that I've had and whatnot. So, at the same time, I'm maybe not healing the way I should, but I don't know. I don't know that there's a right or wrong way to deal with it. I'm just trying to just do my best.
Right. That's all we can do. So, in your free time, if you have it, you seem like you have a hefty schedule, if you have a free 2-hour block, do you find yourself just gazing off, or do you, in your time, do you think about the stressfulness then, or do you try to believe it and think of other things?
I definitely try to think of other things, because I don't want to get trapped in my own head and in the mess of everything. Like I said, it's always on my mind. I can't ever just get rid of it or get it out of my head. But I don't try to dwell in it, and I try to think positively. I try to say over and over, he's going to be fine. And this is going to turn out fine, because it feels to me like as long as I stick with that mentality, then everything will be fine. I think that's better than just sitting around going, ooh, like.
Positive thoughts are always
Yeah. So, and then the other thing you asked me earlier about coping skills, I do use music. I'm very passionate about music, so usually when I get free time, I'm listening to music, or going to see live music as often as I can. So music has always been really helpful to me in coping.
Have you other things, perhaps journaling, screaming at a wall?
Yeah, I don't journal, but listening to music, or like I said, I went out the other day and screamed at the top of my lungs. That was helpful. I just try to keep myself busy too. Just if I do have downtime and I find myself just getting wrapped up in my thoughts and losing myself inside my own head, then I just try to find a task and do something to keep myself busy.
The phone go off?